Well, good afternoon, everybody. For those who do not know me, my name is Jennifer Odo. I am the Executive Director for the Division of Workforce Education and Innovation, also serve as President of YSU's Research Foundation. I want to thank everyone for being here today, taking time out of your busy schedules to really help us celebrate yet another milestone for the Youngstown Warren region, to many also known as Voltage Valley. So I'd like to pay a special welcome to some of our new faces to the community, Congressman Johnson, Congressman Joyce, and of course our Senator Rulli here, who's been very instrumental in helping us do a lot of great work here in the community. So we're going to get things kicked off with a welcome to the podium to one of the most extraordinary leaders, visionaries, and I'll just say overall humans that I've ever had a chance to work with. Please help me in welcoming President Trussell.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. My wife Ellen always reminds me that life is more fun when you live it with an attitude of gratitude. And as I walk in this building and I think about all of the work that our faculty who brought us the idea and the dream of an excellence training center, and all of the folks from the federal government, the state government, the community, the entire campus, who gave us the support to make this dream happen, and then to see all the things that continue to happen. We are so grateful for days like today and special announcements like we have today. It was just over a year ago, I think it was July 27th, that this building opened. And Jennifer gave me some numbers. So often it says, people ask, well, what's going on in here? We worked so hard to put this together and got so much support. And since our grand opening, we have created a division of workforce, education, and innovation. One of our pillars as an institution is to do everything we can do to impact our region. Certainly we want to keep in mind the futures of our students and the creation of academic distinction and discovery of knowledge, but the impact we can have in our region. And this facility and this division that we created is right along the lines of that strategic planning that we've had. We launched this Excellence Training Center at Coley Hall, thanks to philanthropists like Dr. Coley. Our online YSU Skills Accelerator, our Williamson Innovation Park, which will probably have another one of these type of days when we launch that a little bit off campus, and many other workforce programs for our students, our employers, our community members, is what's been happening here. But here's the numbers. More than 678 students, both YSU and workforce, have taken classes here at the Excellence Training Center. 3,067 registered students at the online YSU Skills Accelerator. We've had 846 students from our K through 12s come in and experience what is the advanced manufacturing. It's not their grandfather's manufacturing, it's today's manufacturing and the opportunities there are going forward. We've had over 3,000 visitors, 48 events just in this last year and 5 months or so. Thanks to our staff, it started with a team of one, Jennifer, and I think now we have a team of about 25. All have been externally funded, whether it's our friends from the federal government, our friends from the state government, Appalachian Region Commission, the various entities, all have pitched in to help fund to put this staff together so that this dream could come true and so that we could have days like today. And so today, Youngstown State University proudly announces the beginning of yet another new partnership. Foxconn and Youngstown State University are launching a National Electric Vehicle Training and Innovation Center. I think we should clap for that. all of our friends from the federal government, the state government, and our region, I saw a guy back there from the Chamber of Commerce and so forth, have been talking about the opportunity we have as Voltage Valley, and that there are so many ways that we need to continue to be able to do all of the things that people want to do here in the Valley and have those opportunities for workforce. The intent of this new center is to create a national public-private hub focused on emerging electric vehicle industry needs, including, but not limited to, advanced manufacturing, energy storage, other integrated technology solutions such as artificial intelligence, 5G, and cybersecurity. All things that you've heard about, read about, and know are a part of our future. The center will serve to support all of industry, having a national reach while generating a strong economic impact for our region, our state, and beyond. The center will leverage the support from YSU through the GM Community Investment, in addition to support from our wonderful friends from Foxconn, and hopefully many, many others. So why this is important is Ohio needs to be that Voltage Valley. Voltage Valley is experiencing a generational shift in new opportunities. The investments with Ultium, Foxconn, Ford in Toledo and Elyria, Honda battery plant in Columbus, and let's not forget the role Intel and the semiconductors will have with our EVs. The only way we will seize this moment is to think big, and that's the beauty of this division. I promise you, they are always thinking big, acting boldly, and working together with all of the partners that are here today to make sure that we break down geographic and institutional silos that give everyone access, opportunity to participate in good paying jobs in this industry. So I truly have an attitude of gratitude for our Board of Trustees. We have two of our members here who have been part of the impetus to challenge us to do more as we look forward. Our theme is that we're going to take charge of our future. We're not going to let our future be dictated to us. And they have challenged us, they have supported us, they have allowed us to think outside the box to make sure that we can create those opportunities. And now the role that we feel as if we really need to play well is that we need to attract the workforce. We need to train the workforce so that we can truly be recognized with partners such as Foxconn. You love having your name in headlines with Foxconn. We've got to do our part, and I know we have the team that can do that. And so with that, I'd like to call back to the podium for the one-person wrecking crew that turned into 20, challenged us, and has allowed us to have days like today. Please welcome Jennifer Odo.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we are just so very excited for this historic moment today in Voltage Valley. You know, it really is another step forward in placing Ohio and the Youngstown Warren region as the national hub for electric vehicles. You know, this vision has been 18 months in the making. It first started with generous community investment from General Motors and Ultium Cells to think about energy storage training and innovation center. We then, on the heels of that, with the support of Congressman Tim Ryan, were commissioned by the U.S. Department of Energy to conduct a national and regional labor market study for energy storage. We will be releasing that report in the upcoming days. What you will see over here to the left is one of the graphics that we have done and some of the themes that came from the workshops that we had held. But the findings through the regional workshops that we held through the effort with the Department of Energy, and I'd be remiss if I didn't call out our other collaborators of this project, was Oak Ridge National Labs, Bright Energy Innovators, Jobs Ohio Network Partner Team NEO, and America Makes. So the findings of the regional workshops and our national stakeholder interviews really helped us to understand what the electric vehicle industry needs and what they want. And the feedback was very, very clear. They need a national hub. They need a one-stop shop to go to understand how they get their workforce trained. How do I connect with applied research? How do I get access to funding to help get my product to market? So this one-stop shop is going to be really what we are creating here today. It will have a digital footprint with a physical location, and it will support all the workforce and innovation developing across all adjacent sectors, and one that really intersects the workforce with academia and with that training and research. What I also, not too surprised, we discovered during this research project is that Ohio is ranked #2 in their readiness to support the electric vehicle workforce. Out of 100 markets that we surveyed, the top 100 markets, Ohio had 6 of those markets, including the Youngstown Warren region. And as we've seen in the headlines, as President Tressel has mentioned, our state leadership has done an amazing job at securing multi-billion-dollar investments. Just along I-80, we have Ultium Cells, the GM-LG joint venture. We now have Foxconn. We have Ford making investments in Cleveland area. We have them making investments in Toledo. We have recently announced Honda in Columbus, and then again, the Intel intersection that we have here. It's all happening right here in Ohio, and it's up to us to seize that moment. And today is about progressing one step forward to make Ohio, to make Youngstown Warren, the Voltage Valley, the national hub for electric vehicles. So I'd like to introduce Rick Raji, Vice President Foxconn for Business, Vice President Product and Business Development for Foxconn. I've had the wonderful opportunity to really get to know Rick over the past couple months, and he really does lead from a different place. He leads with love, leads with a lot of heart and a lot of passion and purpose. And more importantly, it's all centered around the soul of any company, and that's the people. So Rick, I've been truly encouraged to hear about your vision for what you want to create here in the Valley, and really looking forward to Foxconn evolving into a global leader in EV manufacturing. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce from Foxconn, Rick Raji, please.
Thank you, Jennifer. I don't know if I deserved all of those kind words. Yet again, another pleasure, fantastic day to be with you guys. This again is not an accident. We kept talking and thinking and planning for this day. Before I talk about my excitement, my point of view, as usual, we have visionary legislators who always supported us, big, small venues that we've had. I just wanted to take a moment and recognize them in the audience. Congressman Dave Joyce, Congressman Bill Johnson, Senator Mike Rulli, and Mayor Brown was supposed to be here. I don't see him in the audience. Hopefully he'll show up. President Tressel stated one thing. He says, "Rest assured, we go big." Let me look at this statement from a different angle. For those of you who do know Foxconn, we are the biggest consumer electronics contract manufacturer. We have about 1.2 million employees in 1,800 locations around the world. There is nothing small about us anyways. So even if this visionary group of people put a plan together, there is only one way for us. We go big, we go massive. And there was a reason we wanted this activity to be located here in our backyard, but be nationwide. There's a lot of things that I'd like to share with you. I've been traveling all around the world in the past few weeks, and there is one common theme that I have concluded talking to some officials, global officials and private sectors that I'd like to share with you. Many of you guys know, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, May 11th, we took our plant over. 5:32 p.m., I put the sign up. Foxconn sign went up. And since then, aside from Endurance pickup truck, from our first partner, we made it public that the first electric autonomous Tractor will be built in our facility. As we speak, my guys are in state of California building the first prototypes, and comes January, we start the production in our facility plant in Ohio. Some of you guys were kind enough to come to our facility about 2 weeks ago, test drove Indy EV vehicles. The pre-productions along with the batteries are going to be produced early next year. And many of you guys know that I am constantly in discussion with 20 plus different car makers to bring their revenue here. Why am I saying this? I know media is going to challenge me. How are you going to fill the pipeline? I'm not even worried. I'm worried about the execution. Last Wednesday, I was in a conference as a keynote speaker in Windsor, Canada. They scheduled for me to meet with Minister of Finance of Canada. The lady also is the deputy minister to Mr. Justin Trudeau. So she's very influential. I had the pleasure of 5 minutes of a conversation with such a fantastic woman. The conclusion was simple. Everybody's screaming for workforce. And then she asked me, she says, you just acquired a plant. How are you going to fill the pipeline? I told myself, I'm not gonna share the details, but it's very simple, guys. For those of you who have come to our plants when we have product debuts, I always say successful companies are the ones who are looking at EV industry in an unconventional way. The era of me beating Tesla is over. You have to have a product differentiation factor. You have to be able to tackle this industry by a value proposition. And many of you who have come to our plant see that products that we're introducing have a unique value proposition. Same goes with workforce. The era of me going to a university and have a recruiting event is over. You just can't post something in LinkedIn, hope for the best. You have to tackle this workforce from a very unorthodox, innovative fashion. And this is the reason we're here today. For those of you who follow me, we only have two agendas: social responsibility and commitment to our community. So how else and where else can I have my campus if I claim that I am supporting my community? Why YSU? My team actually put the scripts in front of me. I'm not even going to follow it. I'm going to tell you what is in my heart. Every time we talk about a product debut, I talk about the leadership of our partners, the vision of the partners. It's more critical than the product to me. 2 minutes, maybe 119 seconds of talking to President Russell, and probably 5 minutes with Jennifer, I was locked. This is it. And then we share the same vision of no hidden agenda. We really want to create the workforce in our backyard. Let's get it done. Basically, engagement at YSU on STEM projects is also very appealing for us. The availability, immediate availability to students here was very encouraging for us for our decision making. As our chairman usually says, one of the reasons for Foxconn global success has been the ability to choose the right partners, products, and timing. President Russell, I'm happy to say we have in Youngstown State the right partner. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. And yes, it's definitely a shared vision to be able to bring something special here to this community, that we can raise our leadership as a national leader and showing everybody how to build a workforce. So with that being said, I'd like to invite both President Trussell and Rick back up here for our signing of our agreement. Where's Mr. Harvey at? I somewhat feel like our lives are being signed away as we speak. All for an amazing good. All right, does that mean that you're super... What I'm hoping this means is that President Trussell here, as he exits out on January 31st, will have a more driven purpose to continue to support the workforce efforts here. So our next speaker is one that has done some really wonderful work in helping us build partnerships here at the university, and that is Senator Rulli. Many of you may not be aware, but we have just launched a program called the Data Mine. And the Data Mine is a collaboration with Purdue University, where our students here at the university are learning about data science, and more importantly, they are connecting what they're learning to applied experiences with companies. We have two companies right now, Nuvi. They are a software company that's for electric charging stations. So already working on projects in the EV space as we speak. But these students are really learning applied experiences. They're receiving credits and getting real world experiences. And it wasn't for President Rulli, or I'm sorry, Senator Rulli, this partnership would not come to fruition. Maybe that's a sign. So in this partnership we have here today, I could not have had a bigger cheerleader, advocate, ambassador to YSU to help us really forge the partnerships that were needed with Foxconn to bring this vision to life. So Senator Rulli, we, in the spirit of gratitude, we are so thankful to you and your vision and your faith in us to bring this forward, and please join us up here.
Very few times in life do all the stars of your life come together at once. And three of my favorite stars are President Trussell, Jennifer, and Rick. I never thought the EV revolution would be who I am, but it turns out to be that way. And making the first journey to Cincinnati and looking at Workhorse and riding around in the UPS electric truck with Senator O'Brien really opened my eyes. You know, when I first got elected, GM had closed the plant. So this pilgrimage that I took in the EV revolution has taken me to all kinds of corners of this country. Whether I was speaking in front of Tesla, meeting with the head executives of Ford Motor Company who have divided their division to combustional and electric division. The importance of that is so huge, you have no idea. Right now, electric vehicles only are about 3 to 4% of the the United States market of consumption of vehicles. Ford Motor Company has the Lightning coming out, and the Lightning is going to be the Ford 150 version of the EV. If this is a success, within 3 years, EV will go to 10 to 12% of all consumption of vehicles in the United States of America. Why is that important? Because we just created the voltage valley. And whether it's EV Insider or EV Today, in some of the interviews I've done, they all tell me the question, what is the voltage valley? What's going on there? And in my opinion, it sort of started with something a little bit different. When we first started doing the construction of the TJ Maxx warehouse, which has nothing to do with EV, it put a spotlight on that area and let them know that geographically it's perfect to build an entire revolution. And then when Mary Barr realized that she had to save grace in the state of Ohio and agreed to sell that to Lordstown Motors, and I went through that whole process with them, the rise and fall. But once again, the stars were aligned. And Foxconn was that hero that came into the sunset and saved us. All these different projects came along with this. And whether it was Purdue, or whether it was talk around with Governor DeWine about Intel coming, or whether it was touring the Honda plant and seeing their plans for the future, or whether it was looking at our autonomous vehicle right there on Fifth Avenue that President Trussell brought us, we all knew that that future was coming. But the future cannot come if the workforce development is not in place. And every single time I made a call to Jennifer, she called me immediately back. What's going on? What does YSU need to be at the epicenter of this revolution? It has been the most refreshing thing of this career, the short career I've had so far, to have partners like YSU and Foxconn. And now the synergy is just going to go through the roof, because no longer are students going to go get a 4-year degree with no idea of what they're going to do with $100,000 debt. Now they're going to graduate with a job ready for them. And the possibilities are endless. We are handling this on so many different levels, it's unbelievable. Another level that we're handling, and you hear this in California, the governor of California said, we're not going to let you charge your car today. Do you know what that does for our movement? Kicks you in the gut. You know how you fix that? You fix that by utilizing Utica and Marcellus Shell that's right underneath Ohio footsteps. We have a good friend, Bill Siderwitz, who's already putting the money together for the second power plant at the Lordstown facility. So now we're going to have a power grid that's going to generate the entire revolution. The entire renaissance of electric vehicle is going to be centered right here with the leadership of YSU and Foxconn. Today is much more important than most people understand, because the entire country's spotlight is coming right here, right now. So now when other universities and colleges throughout the country are having very major troubles with their enrollments, YSU is going to have people knocking down their doors to get into this program. They're going to see the product that Foxconn is going to produce, and it's going to be overwhelming. I am so blessed and humbled to even be part of this equation, and everyone in this room has a part of it. And my heart really goes out to Youngstown State University and Foxconn for allowing me to be part of their family. Stay tuned, because the revolution is about to get really good. God bless you.
So our next guest, dear friend to the university, to Lordstown, and to the region, Congressman Joyce, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I have to share, he had no idea what we had going on here, and when we spoke about a week or so ago, you talked about being the hub and capturing the flag to be the capital of everything EV, and so it's so wonderful to see that we have such a shared vision in our journey here, and I'd like to welcome you to up here to say a few words.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here on such a big day and such a glorious occasion. I appreciate you having me here. You know, when I first got in this job, I prosecuted for 25 years, and I started as a congressman in Northeast Ohio. The manufacturing sector was talking about how they couldn't find people 10 years ago. And as the one gentleman took me out to the end of his little cul-de-sac, he said, looking up and down this road, what do you see? Help wanted signs. So I made it a point of bringing high school students with me who wanted to tag around for a day. And on the way to a manufacturing plant, I would say, what do you expect to see in there? And they expect to see dirt and grime, and people are mad because they have to work there, and all the things that don't happen when you're in these facilities. And I'd ask them the same question as you leave. Did that meet your expectations? No, it far exceeded watching people working on computers, working together as teams, and being happy to produce and have these outcomes. And what have we done as we bring jobs back to Northeast Ohio? We've had a problem finding the employees, the people who are going to meet the demands that we're going to have as we continue to grow and prosper when we bring manufacturing back from other parts of the world to Northeastern Ohio. The Buckeye State isn't alone facing this challenge. However, it's unique possibilities like the one we're discussing today that are going to help us. The United States is suffering from an unprecedented labor shortage. This crisis means it's 11 million jobs that are out there looking for people to work in them right now. The trouble is, we have 6 million people who are still technically considered unemployed. That means there's 5 million people, even if we take all the people who are unemployed and put them in there, that we still need to fill the jobs of manufacturing moving forward. Since Ohio is the third largest manufacturing state in the country, the skilled worker shortage has hit us especially hard. That's why I continue to fight for policies at the federal level that will help close the skills gap and ensure the next generation is prepared for the important manufacturing jobs that the 21st century has to offer. But we all know that the federal government alone isn't the solution. Partnerships like the one today between Youngstown State and Foxconn are exactly what is a large piece of this puzzle. The new training center here will help scale up Northeast Ohio's skilled manufacturing labor force, ensuring our workers can receive good paying jobs and secure and compete in this increasingly global economy. By doing so, we will continue to rebuild our domestic manufacturing base and reduce our dangerous reliance on China. Partnerships like this are much needed reminder that working together across the aisle, federal, state, and local levels will help restore the legacy of the American worker and get our economy thriving again. It's great to be here with you all today, and I look forward to seeing this new Workforce Training and Innovation Center lead to rewarding careers in our communities, careers that have created a stronger, more prosperous Northeastern Ohio. God bless you all and pray for America.
You know, as many of you know, some of you know, President Trussell had recruited me here just 2 years ago from IBM, where we also were addressing the skills gap issue in the tech sector. And leading the work for industry, for the tech industry, and being able to create a coalition, a public-private partnership where we can lead together, we can share best practices, and we can really create open standards around training, not just for the workforce, but even for our students here at the university. Our research from the Department of Energy had highlighted a significant need for electrical talent. That doesn't mean we're just going to be hiring a lot of electrical engineers or a lot of electrical technicians. What that means is our mechanical and chemical engineers, they need to have electrical backgrounds. Other areas of the production line, they're going to have to get electrical certificates. So that is one of the biggest findings that we have discovered through our Department of Energy project. But addressing the skills gap is what we're going to do. We're going to demonstrate that we are not only going to build our workforce here, but we're going to teach the rest of the country of how to put in these practices and standards. Recently, actually just last week, the Appalachian Region Commission announced that YSU had received $1 million to $1.1 million to advance 5G training, readiness training in 6 counties, all aligned to Congressman Johnson's territory, Ashtabula all the way down to Belmont County. This is another way that my team here at the university is thinking differently about solving the skills gap issue, and we are creating outposts with collaborations. I see Art in the back with the Eastern Gateway Community College, with the SOD Center, with other organizations all throughout those communities where we can partner together to bring training to the communities and, more importantly, jobs. So Congressman Johnson, we are very excited to really start making an impact on your region as well, and you know, excited for the opportunities that this center will help do to help your workforce. So please join us up here.
Well, wow, what an exciting day. Anytime I get to share the stage with President Jim Trussell is a big day. He said something in his comments. He said to do this, we got to think really big, right? I mean, that is the truth. We got to think really big. Voltage Valley. We say it, it kind of rolls off the end of our tongue. We want the rest of the world to be talking about, not just the United States, but the rest of the world to be talking about Voltage Valley. You know, when I came from an industry where innovation, we've seen innovation over the decades, unlike any other industry in America, the information technology industry. Jennifer mentioned that she came from IBM. I cut my teeth in the 70s on an old IBM 360 with punch cards. And so I've seen innovation and the impact that it can have. And you recall when John F. Kennedy said, we're going to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. And he said, we're not doing these things because they're easy. We're doing these things because they're hard. And we're going to learn something. And we're going to be able to apply those things we learn to solve problems that we don't even know exist yet. And when you look back over Ohio's contribution to innovation, my God, in the late 1700s, 1780s, Ohio, the Ohio River Valley was on the tip of everybody's tongue on the East Coast. This was the land of opportunity. And look at the innovation that has occurred since. The airplane, the light bulb, the space race, putting a man on the moon, reaching that dream that John F. Kennedy talked about. So what we're doing here today, Rick and President Trestle, Jennifer, with the agreement and the relationship, this public-private partnership with Foxconn and YSU, this is just the beginning of a fantastic journey. A journey of innovation and excitement. You know, the reason that information technology expanded so rapidly and so, I mean, you can't do anything today, from these cameras that are rolling back here in the back to 5G to additive manufacturing, 3D printing, all of the other things that are going on here. Now the CHIPS Act that's bringing Intel in here, and the chips that are going to be needed for electric vehicles. None of that would have happened if the information technology industry had been regulated by the federal government like so many other industries were. So part of mine and Dave Joyce's job is to make sure that Washington doesn't get in the way of this kind of opportunity, that we're a partner, that policies are created that advance forward, and that we see this become a reality. I love the sound of Voltage Valley. I like the sound of Mahoning Valley too, but Voltage Valley has an economic ring to it. And just like what happened when John F. Kennedy said we're going to the moon by the end of the decade, the academic community, the military community, the civilian community, everybody got behind that vision. And you saw young people lining up by the droves to get into degree programs that would prepare them for careers in space exploration. You're going to see the same thing happen right here in Youngstown, with Youngstown State, with Foxconn, with the Voltage Valley. You're going to see young people coming from all over the country, all over the world, to be a part of this great dream. So I want to do my part. I'm grateful to be with you today to celebrate. This is a big day. Thanks for making me a part of it. God bless.
Well, again, I want to thank everybody for coming here today. And in closing, you know, this announcement today is one that we hope will galvanize not just the region, but an entire industry in new ways. We know we need to come together differently. Academia, industry, our not-for-profits, and government. We need to share what we know. We need, again, we talk about dreaming big, acting more boldly, more than ever now, to capture the leadership in the industry. And I say to Ohio, to all of you here in Voltage Valley, this is our time. Let's show the rest of the world what we can do, and let's take that leadership in the electric vehicle industry. Thank you.